Out of all the people present here, how many people meditate or ever tried meditating in their life? All of you have tried? How many people are lying? Keep your hands up. Okay, almost all of you have tried. So after trying, some would have found it difficult and some would have found it easy. So how many people find meditation, and please speak the truth. It's not as if you just have to say it's easy. So how many people as of now find it difficult to meditate? And how many people find it easy? Easy as in they can meditate for an hour sitting like this without doing anything, just like that. Think beforehand because I'm going to make you do that. So you can do that. Okay, so few people find it easy, most of you find it really difficult. So the whole idea of today's session is that let's make meditation simple, not just for few people, but for most of the people. Yes, all the people. The whole world, yes. Meditation is just one way that helps us to understand how to let go of the past and the future, the clutches of which we are in right now, and can catch hold of it whenever we want to. Everybody realizes that meditation is good for us. Everybody knows that? Then why don't we do it? Tell me why. Why don't we meditate?
One gets bored.
Yes, we get bored. Give a big hand to this guy. How many people find meditation boring? Come on, what are we doing? We do it for a day or two, then we find it interesting, and then we say, what are we doing? This isn't something worth doing. Instead, we should go out, eat, drink, enjoy. This is a big myth, that meditation is a boring exercise. But there is a truth hidden behind this myth, that there are thousands of ways that lead to meditation. And out of those, 99% may be boring, but there is still 1%, which is not at all boring. It is interesting. It is exciting. It's a game. It's fun. It's enjoyment. I won't call it intoxicant because it's different. So if the meditation is boring, as you said, how about it becomes interesting? So what'll happen?
It would be fun.
It'll be great. Meditation does not mean that you become a vegetable, do nothing. That's not meditation at all. Some don't interpret it well because some stupid people who could not understand meditation well, who ended up falling in love with meditation while meditation was a vehicle to help you detach from all the other things. And they were detached from everything, from their world, from their life, from everything, and they got attached to meditation. Now what do you do with such a person? Whenever you are attached to the act of doing, or you are attached to the act of not doing it, then you're on the wrong track. So is there any other point that I've not discussed? As in, why don't we meditate?
We are quite laid back. Unless and until there is do and die situation, we do not do anything. There must be a big reason for that.
What he's saying is absolutely correct. And believe me, it's the truth. Till the time we don't get into a do or die situation, till the time something becomes urgent, we don't do it. Something may be important, even if it's more important than being urgent. Is it clear? We take that and keep it on one side. And don't do it till the time it becomes urgent. This is the way it always happens. So what I'm going to do is I'll create a sense of urgency in your life. Now, whatever you are doing in your life, anything you're doing, why are you doing it?
For peace and happiness.
Just for the sake of happiness. This is the only problem with the whole world, is that they think that when I will get this thing, then I will achieve the happiness I was looking for. Till the time I don't have money, money is the only problem. So once I get the money, I will achieve happiness. So once you get the money, and with that money, I will be able to secure all these things. Then I will get happiness. And after I achieved all these things, what do? I have nothing to do. So I will do this, and then I will get happiness. Okay, I've done this. Even then I'm not getting happiness. Then I think I will attempt meditation. Then I will get happiness. Fine, I've attempted meditation. Still not achieved happiness. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You have to do nothing. Happiness is all here. It doesn't lie in future.
If I'll be happy, I'll get the happiness.
That's also a trap in itself. If I become happy, then I will get happiness. Will get happy is there and happiness is here. So now I'm going to straight come to the point and start telling you what you have to do. We'll now talk about the technique involved. If you notice the earplugs that you've got, you have to now use them. If you guys are watching me on the video, you can take these earplugs from any chemist shop. Any chemist shop that's close to your house, just for 15 rupees, so you can buy it from anywhere. And these earplugs are very important for the meditation that I'm talking about. And why are they important? I'll tell you in a short while. But understand they're important. If in case you are not able to find them anywhere, though they are easy to find, still you don't manage to find them, instead of them, if you have a mobile, you can use their earphones. But remember, they do not cancel out the noise completely. The noise does not die out. Alternatively, you can use cotton, but again, cotton is not very effective. So ideally, I would suggest that you purchase these earplugs from anywhere. Can you please hand me over one of these? So here's one. This one's from a 3M company, but there are many other who manufacture this. Now the first step in meditation is, what is the posture of seating? Now even in this, there are many myths. Sit like this, sit like that, that's good, that's bad. Everything's good till the time your back is straight. And there is absolutely no problem in meditating while sitting on a chair. It's simple. Just remember, any pose that is making you feel uncomfortable, don't attempt meditation in that pose. Because if that's making you uncomfortable, you would start thinking of the pain. So what you have to do is choose a comfortable pose. So if you are sitting on a chair, just come a little forward. Just a little bit, not much, on the edge of the seat, so your back becomes straight. Your neck should be straight, shouldn't be like this, shouldn't be like that. Okay? And your neck should be slightly tucked in. And your eyes, just close them like this. And once they are closed, neither look down nor look up like this. Some people say that when I started meditating, I felt some pain here. How many people experience that? You had some pain? You felt some pain because you were putting some pressure on it. You were forcing yourself to see something here. The moment you start putting pressure on this area, you start having pain. Just do nothing. If you look up, you'll have pain. If you look down, you'll fall asleep. Let's move ahead. You are now sitting, and the first thing to do is take 10 breaths. Take 10 deep breaths. But when you exhale, just add 10 to it. And when you exhale next, add 9 to it. But speak within. Don't speak it aloud. Get it? So if you begin to inhale like this, 10. And speak within, not in a tone that is loud. There too, there are lots of ways to speak. 10, 9. Don't speak like Amrish Puri. Go easy, as if somebody is whispering in your ear. You're talking to yourself very slowly, very gently. And as you gradually decrease the count, also try to relax your body and mind. And notice how everything relaxes around you. So remember, don't try to do something. Automatically, things will start happening. From 10, you came to 9, 9, 8, and then you come to 0. And while you are coming down to 0, automatically you will realize that your mind has actually turned blank. But that's not the end. Meditation, for all you know, you might think, oh, is that it? This is where the journey begins. Listen to me carefully what I'm about to say. There are two kinds of sounds in this world. One is that which is coming from the outside, like the sound of the AC. Can you hear them? My sound? It's audible? Right here, there was some noise here. Heard? Listen, what all you can hear from outside? Yeah, there are sounds from everywhere. Right now, you all said we heard some noise. These are sound from the outside. So now we all know what is the sound from the outside. There are some sounds which lie within. There are some sounds which lie within us, out of which there are some sounds which you are aware of, and there are some you are not aware of. You have to know them. What are the sounds from inside? Any examples?
Heartbeat.
Heartbeat. What is the other sound from within? Sound of breathing. In the same way, within, there exist many other sounds that you are not aware of. And how will you hear them? Once you wear the earplugs, once you have blocked all the sounds coming from outside. So now whatever sound you hear is going to come from the inside. So automatically your mind diverts to those sounds and you don't have to force yourself to hear them. And slowly you will start hearing your heartbeat. And slowly, along with these sounds, there will come another sound from behind them. It exists behind them and it's not some kind of a ghost. Behind all these sounds, there's another subtle sound. And these sounds will keep getting subtle and subtle. And how does our mind work? We tend to hear the heaviest of sound. We tend to hear it early. But the most subtle of sounds, they tend to get lost. And the ones which are even subtle, you don't hear them at all. They're completely lost. Is it clear now? It's not that I wasn't speaking, I was speaking. It's not as if you could not hear them, you were hearing them. But that's our habit. We tend to leave the subtle sounds and our mind gets diverted to the bigger ones. Now you just need to reverse the process. So what you have to do is, first you start listening to the sound of your breath. While doing this, there is a sound that's coming from behind these sounds. You have to listen to them. And you know what are those sounds? Maybe someone hears some cricket making some noise. Has any one of you experienced that when you go to a hill station and suddenly when you are lying on the ground, you hear a cricket sound? Have you heard them?
Yes.
Or during Diwali when some cracker explodes next to us? What happens? Yes. Maybe someone hears the sound of water. Someone the sound of waterfall. Or the sound of breeze. Or maybe someone hears the sound of conch. You could experience that sound in your ears. Now these kinds of sounds, even if you don't want, now I'll tell you the meditation you've done before and you're going to do now. There you had to apply your mind to something. Now please understand, because there's a very minute difference, but this is going to create a major difference here. So in all the other meditation techniques, you have to apply your mind to something. And mind is constantly running to the thought, to the sound, sometimes there, sometimes here, sometimes there. So when you're trying to meditate, there's some sound. Hello, what's there to eat today? And meditation goes for a toss. Gone. This is what happens because you are trying to stop the mind somewhere. You are trying to hold that mind to a place. Unless you understand what the mind is, to control it is next to impossible. For you at least. So don't try to hold your mind. You are trying to control your mind here and there, going slowly here and there. And what are you doing here? The moment you start listening to these sounds, they will pull your mind towards itself. Are you getting my point? There you are making all the effort to control your mind. And here the mind will automatically come to a halt. It'll become absolutely stable, wondering, what is this sound? And suddenly you'll hear a sound and you'll say, what is that? Even if you don't want to listen to that sound, your mind will take you to it. Your mind will automatically come to the center and you'll start experiencing it. You will have no idea as to what's happening to you. Just try and notice once. The moment we are in a state where we fail to understand something, our mind comes to the present. Till the time something is really new to us, our mind stays in the present. Now you go to a new place for the first time, to some hill station. What happens to you? Your mind is very much with you and you're trying to observe everything. This is what happens. You observe each and everything. You say, oh my God, what's that? What is this? Now go there the second time. The third time what happens? The fifth time what happens? You will be sitting there but doing something else in your mind. You will be thinking about your work, about your office. This is what happens. This is exactly the same with everything. If you carefully start observing everything, whenever something happens that we just don't understand, something which is beyond our knowledge, we come to the center. Because you have no idea. What do? Because there's nothing to do. And if you understand something, and when would you understand? If something is in the memory and you understand that, then you would convert that immediately into the language. If you hear a sound of the truck, for example, from outside, and you actually hear it, what will you say? That's a sound of a truck. So you have stamped it. It means mind has started having a conversation. But if such sounds come from within which you just don't understand at all, I've just hinted you, there are going to be certain sounds. There are going to be certain sounds which you won't even understand. Number one, where they're coming from. Number two, what are they? Number three, whose sound is that? You would understand nothing. You'll be stunned. You'll just be numb. And the moment you're numb, it's all sorted. You've reached the center. You will start experiencing the things the way they are. And if I may explain this with a little bit of technicality, after that I'll tell you things with a little detail, but there's a small little thing. All the sounds that you hear, just hear them from the right side. From your right ear. Maybe there are sounds coming from the left, but that's okay. Slowly, just bring those sounds and your mind to this side, that is the right side. And automatically these sounds will start coming on the right side. And as you start getting deeper and deeper in meditation, these sounds will start coming to the center. Very slowly. And then at the end, you will be able to achieve and realize the last goal. And that someone might achieve in 10 days, and 20 days, a month, maybe a year. And what is that last goal? There is a sound which is right here, in your heart. It's Anhat Nad, as we call it. Anhat nad. Anhat means which has no limits and which comes unannounced. You don't feel it when it comes. For example, a clap with one hand. You've heard a clap with two hands, you know the sound it makes. Imagine a clap with one hand. What is the sound you hear? It's the sound of silence. That is the sound you need to hear. And why can't you hear that sound? If the mind manages to hear that sound, then the mind will recognize, oh my God, it's me. In a minute, the mind will see itself and everything will start becoming clear. Mind will automatically become peaceful. And if the mind is at peace, you automatically come to the center. And you wouldn't need to do anything. But why can't you hear it? Because in the center, there is noise. There's a lot of noise. When we speak, there is noise. When we hear, there is noise. There is a third kind of noise. But before that, I'll tell you the difference between the two noise. Number one, while meditating, you're not speaking. Number two, when you're listening, there is noise. But that is cancelled because of these earplugs. These earplugs that you're wearing. What happens with these? You can't hear anything. This sound is cancelled. And speaking anyway is cancelled. There is a third kind of noise which needs to be cancelled and which in every meditation is the last goal or is the most important goal. And what is that? We in our hearts, in our minds, continuously speak something. Have you ever noticed? Non-stop. Non-stop. And that's why there's stress. For example, you're sitting here and I keep speaking something in your ear. Listen, have you done that? You were supposed to do that. And please, don't forget to do that. Come on, we have to meet the deadline. Listen, we have to go and get our kids as well. This is the problem. What if this happens? What if that happens? I really want to do this work, but I'm not sure whether I should do it or not. I'm not able to decide, so I don't know. So let me do it. But what if I'm not able to do it? This is what happens. And it happens 24 hours. Now should I scientifically explain it to you as to what you have to do? How many people have this doubt as to why we have to hear it from the right side? This sound. Why we need to hear it from the right side? I'm going to scientifically explain it. Our brain is actually divided into two parts. Left brain and right brain. And they're connected to each other. But both their functions are completely different. The left is called the logical brain. The right is called the intuitive brain, where you experience intuition. Now you come in contact with something. Be it with the thought, be it with me, be it with some sound or something else. The moment it happens, you hear a sound and immediately here the conversation starts happening. Oh, that's the sound of a truck. The moment you see a picture, you say, oh, such a bad picture. You smell something bad, you say, such a bad smell. Some good fragrance, you say, what a nice smell. This is what happens. There begins a conversation within. You start talking inside. The moment you have conversation, it results in noise. So you have to somehow end this conversation. Now, what is the way out scientifically? The sound that you hear from the right side, its processing is done by the left side of the brain. Now, what happens with this process scientifically, the moment you hear some sound from the right hand side, and mind you, the interesting part is the sound I'm making you hear from the right is the one that you already know. For example, I start saying something like some kind of a name that you already know what it is. Ram, 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 Ram. Now what happens? The image of Ram is formed. When the image of Ram is formed, what happens? Conversation takes place on this side. There it's Lord Ram, Jai Ho, Jai Ho, Jai Ho, Jai Ho, Jai. There's nothing wrong with it, but conversation happens. Oh God, please do this, please do that, stuff like that. So the conversation begins. The moment that happens, you're displaced from here. And none of you present here knows these sounds. Absolutely no one. You are so near, yet you are so far. They're coming from here, but you never noticed. If you apply your mind, you'll notice in a second. The moment you hear that, mind turns completely blank. This side of the brain has no idea as to what it is. It just knows it's some sound, so it becomes alert. And this side of the brain, because it doesn't know what to say, it becomes quiet. Absolutely. So you automatically from there come to this side, in the center. Your mind will turn off. What is the purpose of meditation? The brain has not completely shut. It's not dead. The brain has simply stopped speaking and your heart is opened out. So this side is connected to the heart. And your heart starts getting bigger. And your mind starts becoming smaller. And gradually your mind becomes zero and your heart keeps getting bigger. And it's all a matter of heart. All the love is here. Compassion is here. Creativity is here. Everything is here. Peace of mind is here. What is peace of mind? When your brain is quiet. That is called peace of mind. That your mind is at peace. Quiet. When would that happen? When the mind sees something about which it knows absolutely nothing. And imagine if it's something you wanted to know and still you are not able to understand, then what will happen?
Mind would stay at peace forever.
Mind would stay at peace forever. So you get it? Making the connections that I was talking about? It's interesting, of course, because it's something new. It's not boring at all because it's something new. Exciting because every day there is something new. And it's not as if there's just one sound, there's an entire music. In fact, there's entire melody. There are octaves inside. There exists a world that you can't even imagine. Once you start hearing them and gradually you start moving forward. And how do you move forward? Control your breath, which is the most important. And after that, the sound of this, the heartbeat sound. You leave that and then try to notice which is the more subtler sound. Then find out which is the more subtler sound than that one. The subtle one, the subtle one, the subtle one. And one day you will be able to reach that sound after which there's none. If you leave that, then you're left too. Even you won't exist. That sound is known as Om. That is actually the sound of Om. All the Vedas are derived from Om. It's called the essence of all Vedas. In Islam, all the Sufi people, if you carefully listen to the Sufi people, what do they sing? Allahu. Allah exists. It means who exists. Om, A-U-M. What's there in the center? You. How do you say you? Who. Who. Is there any difference? Islam says that. Even the Sufi says that. What the Hindus are saying. Even the Bible says that. In the beginning there was the Word. The Word was with God. And the Word was God. The Word existed in the beginning. Imagine, how could a word exist in the beginning? Imagine. When there was nothing in this universe, there was this word. This same word in Hindi, what do you call in Bhagavad Gita? Akshar. Akshar meaning akshar. Imperishable. Something that cannot be destroyed. Akshar. Akshar Yog. There's an entire chapter on it, where there is a detailed explanation as to what is Akshar, where Lord Krishna is actually directing towards it, that it's my ultimate place of worship. Akshar. And what is that? It's Om, right? Everything is derived from it. It is who? It is Ram, it is Rahim, it's Allah, it's Jesus, it's Christ. Call it whatever, makes no difference. Whatever you feel like, they are all his names. That one, call him whatever. And what does Nanak ji refer to it? It is Ek Omkar, that's what they say. What's the meaning of Ek Omkar? Did you ever think? Ek Om, that has a form, is the only truth. Everything else is false. And what is Om? Om has no form. That's right. So everybody is talking about the same thing, it's just that they're talking about it differently, in different ways. And I'm just telling you the shortcut of it. One is that you can beat around it and come to that point. And the other is that you reach their cut and reach to the point. Now you have to hear that sound. And who will hear that sound? Whose thoughts are clear. A person who has more noise within will take so much more time to hear the sound of the Om. So what does it mean? The more you try to listen to it, the longer you will take to hear it. Is it clear now? The more you make an effort to listen to it, the longer it will take. So if you don't make an effort, just sit. You'll start hearing it. So just do nothing. Wear your earplugs and just quietly sit down. Don't listen. Say, I don't want to listen. And you will still hear it. Is it clear now? Our capability to hear is designed in such a manner. The first organ that begins to function, and mind you, that's not something that you have just started to do. It's been happening even before you were born. We hear even then. So this organ is the first one to develop. This one, the one you hear from inside. And it's the last one to leave you. So as they say, when the person is about to leave the world, come to his ear on the right side. Speak into his ear, just say Ram, Ram, Ram. Why do they say that? Did anyone think? This is the highest level of prayer that I am talking about. And what do we understand by prayer? That we quietly sit in a temple with folded hands and let this side of the brain be active. Let me explain it scientifically. We activate the left side of the brain and ask God for something. That's what is prayer. This is what I used to do when I was young. I still remember that prayer, which I was taught when I was young. Oh God, give me power, knowledge, may I become a good boy and a learned one, etc. I still remember that. Is that prayer? We were thinking that is prayer. Oh no, my friend. That is not prayer at all. This is not prayer. What is the highest form of prayer? When you are speaking nothing at all, neither from your mouth, nor with your mind. The only thing you have to do is to completely surrender yourself. Then what happens to you is what is prayer. Because the one who is listening to you is not outside you but within you. The moment you start asking him for something, you will start getting farther from him. Do not ask him for anything. He knows everything. He's aware of everything. Nothing's hidden from him. Don't ask him for anything, and you'll get everything. All this is meditation. So it means you have to do nothing at all. If at all you want to do some experiment. If you really want to experiment, really want to play with it, because I told you there's nothing serious about it, just play around with it. Do you want to play? Do I tell you the way? Tell me. I don't want to meditate in my heart. After all, what is meditation? You just have to hear. And what are you saying? I don't want to hear. So just try not to hear. Even then you will hear. This is the game. Your mind wants to go out. Let it go out. Go ahead, experiment, try it out. Let your mind go out. The moment you recognize the voice coming from within, it will pull you towards it. You won't need to bring your mind when you are gradually getting into meditation. It will automatically pull you towards it. It will automatically pull you. It will automatically entrench itself into you the moment you go somewhere else. So now you get to have a choice. Being here, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this. So you can do thousands of things, that too, without being attached to any particular thing. You can achieve anything. Nothing is impossible. Why? Because nothing is outside you. And you can lose anything, because after losing, what you get has everything within it. Because there is nothing outside you. So let's wear the earplugs. Just give me one. So you have to first roll them properly. Like you must have sometimes ever done it with a newspaper, tear it off and roll it like this, right? So just roll it like this. And after rolling this, just bring it close to your ear and insert it like this. And press them from behind for just about something like 10 seconds. And then what will happen? Inside, they will open up. And if you directly insert them, it won't happen. So what are we about to do? For 20 minutes, we have to relax and sit. First, there'll be 10 breaths. We'll begin with the countdown, go till 0. After that, we have to normalize the breathing. And whatever sounds you're hearing from within, just listen to them. Even if there are some sounds coming from outside, say somebody's coughing, or if any other kind of sound, if your mind goes to it, let it go. You'll see it'll automatically come here. So don't make an effort to do it. Your mind went to the coughing sound, it'll automatically come back. The more you get irritated, the more it'll irritate you. The thoughts came, no problem, let them be. Automatically that sound will bring your mind to itself. It'll automatically bring it here. So please switch off these lights. Now from all of you, I want to know what was your experience. And first of all, I want to know how many people, apart from breathing and heartbeat, heard some other kind of sound. So you had to apply your mind, or it was automatically happening?
Sir, automatically.
So again and again you were getting into meditation, right? And you were not meditating. So it all happened automatically?
All the other sounds had stopped.
So all the other sounds had stopped. Okay. So now let me explain you all the 3 stages. So the first is when you hear no sound, but the breath is there. The breath is within you. So that is the same sound. And where are these breaths coming from? Ever thought about it? Where are these breaths coming from? Where are they going? What if I snatch breath from you just for 5 minutes? What will happen? Finished. So these breaths, the place they are coming from and to the place they are going, from the same place, these sounds are originating and going. The breaths are just a little bigger form of it, and that's why you're able to hear it. But there are smaller ones and subtle ones. If you make an effort, you'll hear them. So till the time you don't hear them, just hear the sound of breath. Just align yourself with the thought. If you don't want to align yourself with the thought, let it go wherever it wants to go. Let it go to the outside sound. It'll automatically bring it to the inside sound. There's so much of power in it, so much of attraction in it. It will automatically pull you towards it. Now the people who heard the sound beyond this sound, as someone pointed out, he heard the sound of cricket. How many of you heard that? So you heard the sound of cricket. And what are the sounds?
Singing bird.
Oh, you heard the singing bird. Well, that's good for you. What more can you ask for?
It was like a singing bird going up and down. Sometimes it was low, sometimes high. It was quite fluctuating, you know.
Yes, exactly. You see some light flickering like this? Sometimes it lights up, then shuts, like the stars you see in the sky. How do they look like when they're in the sky? Isn't it like when they're twinkling, lighting and shutting? These sounds are very much like the stars. Twinkling like stars. Sometimes it comes, then it goes. And sometimes what will happen is, after the breath you hear the sound of cricket, and after that you hear a subtle sound which just comes and goes, and then you hear the sound of cricket. So you just hear it momentarily. Okay? So right now don't bother to catch the subtle sound, catch the sound of cricket. Once you immerse yourself in it completely, when you can completely and neatly hear that sound, then just next to this sound, you'll start listening to a sound which is very subtle. Then take your mind away from the cricket and bring it here. Then remove your mind from there, go to the next one and next one and next one. Now, there is a confession which is very important. Now, people do stress that meditation is a must for everyone. Everything has pros and cons. Same way, meditation also has pros and cons. So let me now tell you what is the downside of meditation. Meditation is only a tool, it's only a weapon to reach somewhere. In fact, it is a kind of a boat that will take you to the bank, and after crossing the river, if you do not leave that boat, then there is no remedy for it. There will come a time when after meditation, you will not attempt meditation, but meditation will leave you. At that time when it's leaving, don't try to catch it, just let it go. Just don't be greedy that you should be seeing this, that, there, etc., etc. There is no end to it. Once you know it, just embed yourself into it. The second confession, which is again very, very important. Maybe there are many of you who have such a work where, and let me tell you, I'm not trying to make fun of it, I'm being very serious. Maybe some of you have a work which involves being angry, where without being angry, you can't deliver the goods. Because there are such people. And when I understood their problems, and although I could never understand that, but then I thought maybe that person was right in his own way. Like I have an uncle, and I asked him, why are you always so angry? Now because I observe people, and I always see their eyes, and I see their eyebrows, they're always like this. And it often happens when I say something which they don't like, or they don't appreciate, they puff their nose like this. Alright. And I've never seen him smile. So after seeing these expressions, I asked him, Uncle, what's the problem? Why are you always so angry? And he said, son, my work is like that. I've got habituated. My work is like that. If I don't get angry on my people, he has a factory. So if I don't get angry with the people who work for me, if I don't abuse them, and he hurled a couple of expletives till the time those dash, till the time those dash, till then nobody's ready to work. Maybe he was right on his part. And even if you think that without getting angry you can't get the work done, you can't run the factory, then please brother, don't attempt meditation. Your anger would dissipate and you won't survive. Sometimes I really laugh at myself. Sometimes there are situations where you should express anger. For example, my uncle who runs a factory, sometimes what happens is when somebody doesn't do the work properly, he hurls abuses at him. And today I can tell you honestly, and I'm not just saying, I know it from within, if it's my factory and catches fire, I would still be laughing. It will not bother me at all. I would simply ask, did you bother to call the fire brigade? Okay, try to put out the fire. If you can't, let it be. We'll set up another one. So no anger. So even if you try to be angry with someone, you will not be able to do it. Now this is the first category. Now the second category is maybe your work is such where it involves telling a lie to people. Or you have to deceive them. There are many such work which require you to do this. There's a lot of such work. And I don't know how many people sitting here are like this. For example, till the time you do not lie, you will not be able to sell your product. And such a lie which causes harm to the other person. Because there is a lie which does not cause harm to the other people, you can do it. Even I do that sometimes. So it does not harm the other person. So it's not like that you have to uphold the truth and you know that after lying, it will harm that person. For example, there is a builder. And you have to sell his flat and you know that that man is a fraud and is a thief. You still sell the flat because you earn a commission out of it. So if you are in such a job, in such a profession, then you will die of hunger. You won't be able to sell that flat. You won't be able to do that. You'll be finished. You won't be able to lie at all. You won't be able to do harm to him. And even if somebody comes and harms you, you will sit very peacefully and pray for him when you are alone. Obviously, you will not say it in front of him, but when you are alone, you will pray for him by keeping your hand here. Oh God, please do him good, please do him good, please do him good. So this is what will happen. And I know it must be really weird. It's weird, but it will happen. I'm telling you from my real practical experiences. For example, if you are a butcher, is there anyone who's a butcher here? So if you are a butcher and you have to hack the chickens, well, that's a job. Well, I'm not trying to say whether it's a good job or a bad one. I'm not here to judge it. But remember, if this is your job, then for God's sake, please do not meditate. Don't do it, I'm telling you for the fact. Don't ever do that. The moment you try to skin the chicken, in its eyes you'll see. Really? If for once you look into its eyes, you'll start crying. Forget skinning the chicken. You'll close your shop. You'll die of hunger. You will have no money. You will have no idea as to what you should be doing. But you will not be able to kill the chicken.
You will see love all around.
You won't be able to do it. Yes. One is when we make an effort to love. So what are we doing in our lives? We are trying to love. The more you try, the more you go away from love. You will become love. The moment you reach center, you'll become love. Even if someone tries to harm you, you will have compassion for him. You will have love for him. It's not that you wouldn't want to save yourself, you will do that. And it's not that to save him, you will not hit him, you will hit him, but you'll do it with love, not with hatred. And gradually what will happen, there will come a stage, despite wanting badly, you will not be able to think about yourself. And you, for the good of the society, and without expecting anything in return, not even this bit, not even a wee bit, you will do anything. You'll keep moving. You know this thing that I'm talking about? I'll talk about it later on.